Little Halloween action there for you.
Yeah, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Halloween time.
Welcome to this new show, the Around the 32. It's
There you
me
go.
and Nate talking about all 32 teams in the NFL. Yes, we're Lions fans, but we like football,
Okay.
so that's all that
Yeah,
counts.
exactly.
So we're gonna
We
give
took our
unbiased.
Lion stuff off, so we're
Yeah,
good. We just have it in the
we're giving
background.
you unbiased opinions. So what we're going to be doing here is going down a list of games that are happening this week. We're going to give you injury report statuses, what the line is, both whether the over under and the covered spread, and maybe we'll drop a little bit of fantasy in there, and then of course our opinions. So.
Yeah, we also got some news and possibly some
news too.
matchup
Yeah,
talks and I'll talk thoughts and all that.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
All right.
So the first game will be Baltimore and the Dolphins tonight. Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are favored to win by 7.5 points. And we were looking at the injury report. Basically, everybody's good to go. Ravens are the healthiest they've ever been, and Dolphins look good too. So, yeah, should be an interesting game. What do you think?
Yeah, we got Lamar Jackson coming back off his little injury thing, even though he probably could have played last week, but they screwed that up for him, so he couldn't play.
Right.
But he's playing this week. Tua Tagovailoa will continue to wear his visor against to protect his eye against the Ravens, to protect his eye because he still has that eye going on. But other than that, I think everything's the only injury updates I have for Miami is Julian Hill, tight end, and Ashton Davis, safety. The tight end thing, I think I think he's more like a blocking tight end anyway. So when
just
you
guy
say that there's really everybody is healthy, he's just the safety is more important because they don't really have any back good safeties or defensive backs in the first place. So that might be more of an impact. But other than that, everybody else is.
Do you think?
Well,
do you think that the Dolphins might be a little bit especially on the defensive side? Do you think they might be a little paranoid knowing that they might get traded coming up with the trade deadline? I mean, Bradley Chubb's been named in trades. So is Julian Phillips. As a player, how do you focus your attention on the game knowing that you might be traded to a different team, maybe a better team?
Well, I think they're professionals. Other than everything else, you got to play where you're at right now. You can't worry about all that stuff. You got games to go out there and win, or try to win. And I mean, that's usually that doesn't bother players too much. It depends on the type of player it is, or the type of person they are. But other than that, I wouldn't say that would bother them too much. Do you think
Miami moves off those guys at all, or do you think they stay with them?
They might start imploding. They might start, trying to.
I mean, they're third in the division right now. I mean, well, fourth.
Catching
third. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, they're kind of in that middle category where you're not really good, but you're not really, really bad. You're kind of in the middle. And so, moving off of Chubb, maybe moving off of Phillips might not be a bad idea to clear some money, because the reality is they got to figure out what they're going to do with Tua Tagovailoa at the end of the season. I know they gave him an extension, but he's got injury problems. He's got concussion problems. And he's also been very vocal in his pressers about, first he threw his player under the bus and then he retracted it and apologized. and we all think Mike McDaniel's going to get fired at some point.
Yeah.
So,
They're
and
talking
that
about
coach might not want Tua either. So that's another thing to
everybody
look
might
at.
want to just be aware too that Tua is also one of those guys that people are talking about might be traded as well, even if they
wow.
eat some of the cap. But
yeah,
everybody's game at this time of the season. If your team's not doing well,
right. On the other side, Derrick Henry played really well against the Bears last week. That was the best game he's had all year. The defense didn't look too bad. They put a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams. So I definitely would expect them to do that with Tua. I mean, the defense is as good as it can be right now. I mean, they lost Matabike for the year, which sucked. I like Matabike. But, I mean, they still have Hamilton. They got Roquan back. Kyle Van Noy's out there. Wiggins is playing well. Nate Wiggins in his second year, I really like that guy. He's very fast, and he made that pick on Caleb. So I think the Ravens are rounding into form, and getting Lamar Jackson is going to be a huge boost for them.
Yeah. Let me see what we got here. So do you think that the Baltimore covers the spread or
honestly, I'm leaning towards the points because Lamar's just coming back from his first game. He's going to be a little rusty. I think they're going to try to really shut down Derrick Henry. And Tua, if he's accurate, he can. What's up, J Train? If Tua's accurate, he can pick apart that defense. Even though we talked about the defense rounding into shape, I still think that secondary is weak. And Jalen Waddle's been playing well too. So, and they got A-Chain. Don't forget about A-Chain, my boy A-Chain from A&M. He's been tearing it up too. So I think the Dolphins keep this game close, and it's at home too. And if they get waxed tonight, there's a good possibility that McDaniels is going to get fired.
McDaniels will be gone the next day. He'll be gone like 2 hours after the game.
Yeah, and they beat the Falcons. I mean, nobody saw that. They went to Atlanta. They whooped the crap out of the Falcons. So,
I don't think the Falcons saw that.
But I would take the points, and the over right now is 51.5. So I think it's going to be a shootout. That's a high over. So I might take the over too on that. Shoot, both quarterbacks could just very well just go off in this game because neither defense really is that stout.
Well, just like I said, most of the defensive players, except for the ones that are on IR for Baltimore, are playing, and they're going to turn that around eventually. Right. That defense, because there's too much talent on that defense for them to be that bad. So, and Miami would be a good spot to be. Hey,
it's in Miami, man. Come on, give your fans something to root for. So you think they're going to cover? Or you taking the points too?
I think they're going to cover.
Okay.
I mean, I don't look at one game and say, "Oh my God, they're just back." No, because it's.
I mean, it's either going to be a really big blowout or it's going to be a close game.
Atlanta they fell in their face in that game. I mean, just totally fell apart in that game.
Right.
So yeah.
And Penix St. Jackson. Let's make that very clear.
Hey Brent.
What's up, Brent?
And Fire Kiss, what's going on?
All right. Let's jump into the next game. I got the 49ers and Giants. Niners are still 2.5 favorites. Over is 48.5. So another high scoring game they expect. I don't know where they're getting 48.
I'll take the under on that. That's a lot. Yeah, I'll take an under on that. With both these defenses, hell no. And the offenses aren't doing very well.
Right.
Well, I mean,
where's Jackson Dart going to throw the ball?
Christian McCaffrey was a DNP, but he was resting. Ricky Pearsall still is not playing yet. He was out there. I mean, he didn't have any practice. Trent Williams is still out, but he's resting.
Yeah, he'll play.
Winters has got DNP.
I don't like that matchup for Christian McCaffrey on that defense. I agree with you. I think the Giants defense will shut down Christian McCaffrey.
Well, look at Houston did to him. And Houston's a very good defense. They shut Christian. But, with the Houston game, I don't let all that fool me a little bit because when Houston was on offense, they had the ball for a very long time in every one of their drives. Like one drive was 15, another was 13, another was like 14. I'm like,
they wore that defense down. Yeah, they wore that defense down.
So with that, once you get to a point where you got a lead, then they're going to start passing on you. So yeah.
Does it look like Purdy, or is it going to be mac and cheese this week? I think it's going to be Purdy.
Purdy, yeah.
Okay.
Purdy.
I think Purdy is better than mac and cheese. Like I think that he'll get the ball to Kittle, Pearsall, maybe McCaffrey in the flats. I just think he's a more accurate and can maybe make a little bit more plays than Mac can. And then defensively they've rode the wave with losing Fred Warner. I mean, obviously losing Fred Warner is huge. I mean, Fred Warner is the captain of that defense. But they still got some good players. So I'm more worried about the Giants, man. Like, where's Jackson going to throw the ball to? Or who's he going to give the ball to? Like,
well, they still got Jalen Hyatt. They still got
Hyatt, but he hasn't done nothing.
Tyson, and they got Shepard.
Who else they
Shepard.
have? They have.
Do they have what's his name? Shepard. I'm trying to figure out who was that.
There you go. They have the guy from the other receiver. What's his name? Waddell. Oh.
They got Demarcus Robinson. Oh no, that's wrong.
No, what's that receiver's name with a W? Waddell.
Yeah, Waddell. Yeah,
Waddell Robinson. There you go.
Waddell.
There you go. Yeah, they got him. They got Trey Johnson, or they got that Johnson guy from number 84. It's going to be tough for Dart, man. I think that 49ers Saleh is going to bring a lot of heat on Dart. And if they can contain Dart, it's going to be a long game for the Giants. It really is. Losing Scatterpoo is going to be huge.
Yeah, and Scatterpoo is confirmed out for the rest of the season with not only a dislocated ankle, but a fibula fracture and a deltoid ligament rupture. So it was a whole bunch of injuries in one.
It
wasn't pretty. So that's going to be
Dart looked like he was throwing up on the sideline. Because I don't blame him. I mean, that's something you don't want to see live,
Yeah. Well, I did actually see it. Red Zone actually played.
Oh God. I saw a video somebody posted of it. I was like, oh Lord, why would you even show that? Just to look at some stats real quick. So this is kind of interesting. The Niners are 5-3 against the spread, and the Giants are 4-4 versus the spread. Let's see. Neither team can score. 26 for the San Francisco Niners, 23rd for the Giants. Points allowed, 8th for the Niners at 20.5, 26.9 for the Giants. So their scoring defense, not that good either.
Yeah.
And total, they're middle of the pack. So surprising, the Niners have only rushed for 89.4 yards rushing a game. That's 30th in the league. The Giants are 15th. So, yeah, it's an interesting game. I do think the Niners will cover on this. I just don't believe in Jackson Dart without his weapons. I mean, you lose Neighbors, you lose Scatterpoo. I don't really like their running backs. I mean, Tyrone Tracy's probably going to be the featured back going forward for fantasy owners there. Receiver wise, shoot, I guess Wan'Dale Robinson's probably the guy that you probably would have to look at to get more targets.
Well, they still. What the hell is his name? New York Giants. The running back. Damn, I can't remember his name. Much. I'll find it here in a minute. Let's see.
Are you talking about that rookie guy they had last year?
No, not the rookie guy. Well, yeah, I think it's the rookie guy. Yeah.
I think you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know the name.
Come on. There we go. All right. So it's a running back.
I mean, Tracy's probably going to get majority of the carries.
Tyrone Tracy, yeah. And they got Devin Singletary still.
That's right. They still got Singletary. That's another guy. Yep. Yes. I'm glad you said that.
So, They'll be fine.
Are they going to be able to put up points on that defense? That's my question to you.
Well, Houston did it, and they had worse. They didn't have Nico Collins.
That's fair.
So
but you still think the Niners are going to cover?
No, I think the Giants are actually going to win that game.
You think the Giants are going to win that game?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I like it.
Defense.
That's bold.
Defense wins games too. So.
I mean, both defenses are really good. You're absolutely right. I mean, it's going to be a slobber knocker. Like, I don't know why the over is so high on this game, because good luck, man. I think the first one to 20 wins.
Yeah, the Giants are what are the Giants at? The 49ers are 22nd in overall defense.
Mm-hmm.
And the Giants are, where the hell are the Giants at? Oh, they're 29th overall, but I don't think that's against I think that's mostly because they have bad pass defense. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Where's passing defense for the Giants?
Well, I know they were out some cornerbacks.
They're 24th in the passing.
They were out some cornerbacks, I think, the last game. So I don't know if they got those guys back or not.
Actually, they're worse rushing. So
I think whoever gets
show up once in a while. I don't know.
I think whoever gets the most pressure on their quarterback probably wins. Because both guys, I would probably give the Giants the nod in that case, because you've got Carter, you've got Burns, you've got Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, you've got a lot of dudes. You got Sexy Dexy inside. You've got a lot of guys that literally can get that at that quarterback. The Niners don't have Bosa.
Dexter Lawrence will be playing with some added energy, considering the fact that Carl Banks went off on him on one of his podcasts. But you're not playing like Dexter Lawrence.
Woo, you don't want to piss that guy off.
When a alum from the Giants, Banks is a linebacker that played for the Giants way back in the day for the one they won the Super Bowl, as a matter of fact, against Buffalo. He out there, and Dexter Lawrence did not take that very well. He's like,
Dexter Lawrence had over 10 sacks last year. This year, I think, I don't know where his numbers are this year.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's another thing. I don't understand where Carl was coming from, because, he played well last year. Maybe this year he's coming off slow. But, the whole team.
He's had a little bit of a drop off.
You just can't blame one guy. He's not going to get 10 sacks every season. Very few people in history have done that. So.
Yeah, just to look at see what his stats are for the season so far. Dexter has half a sack.
Yeah.
I can see what he's saying there. Yeah. No, wait a minute, no. Half a sack right now in the season. Yeah. So
he says half a sack. If he had no sacks, then.
I can see what he's saying there, but he expects more out of him, I guess, especially the money you're paying him. So,
all right, more out of defense. Period. All the money that they put into that line. So
that is very true. But I think their cornerbacks are banged up too. So I don't know if they're going to get their cornerbacks back, like Banks and Plott and all that. I think I don't know if they're going to play this week, because I know against the Eagles they weren't playing, and that's been a big issue with them. Oh, they didn't have Javon Holland either. Their safety. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to the Bears in Cincinnati. So right now, the Bears are 2.5-point favorites. The over right now is showing, where was it? Oh, I just saw it. Oh, 51.5. So another high scoring game they expect. Now, this one's interesting. Flacco might not play. He's got some AC joint, so it could be Jake Browning, which we all know what Jake Browning is capable of doing.
Yeah, him and let's see, Joe Flacco and Trey Hendrickson didn't practice. Flacco was dealing with an AC joint, as you said, sprain, while Hendrickson is still dealing with a hip injury. So they're both questionable against the Bears. And on top of that, the Bears just signed GJ.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, that'll help them out defensive back wise because they're down
Mm-hmm.
some defensive backs. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think I picked the Bears to win this game anyway, and I think just the Bears have more defense than Bengals have. So,
well, definitely if Browning plays, I would definitely give the Bears the nod for sure.
Yeah.
If Flacco plays, I like that matchup with their secondary still banged up with Chase and Higgins. I think that they give Flacco enough time that he can get the ball out to those dudes. The Bears are 3-4 against the spread, just so or when they're favored to win, so not a good sign. Bears are 15th in points per game at 24. Bengals are 21. Bears are 25th in points allowed at 26. Cincinnati's dead last at 31.6. Maybe that's why they feel like it's going to be a high scoring game. Rushing, Bears are 10th at 124 yards a game.
Yep.
And Bengals are dead last or second to dead last at 82.9. But the Bears are number one in turnovers, which is going to be huge if Browning plays. I mean, obviously, you know, being Lions fans, we want the Bengals to win, but if Browning's playing, I don't think that's going to happen. Do you feel that same way?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen when Flacco half banged up. You know, he was playing both those. And let me tell you something, when you get beat by the Jets, that's demoralizing right there. Especially a team that hasn't won a game and they came in there and beat your butt.
Yeah. Well, we talked about how bad their defense is, especially with Trey being out. You know, they're going to be, it's just as bad as Dallas's defense. They're not going to be able to stop people.
They're 32nd overall. And then for the passing defense, they suck there too. They're 30th. Rushing defense, they're dead last, like you said. Scoring defense, last. Yeah. Chicago's got this one. I'm sorry. And Chicago's not the greatest in scoring defense, but
you think Caleb will take advantage of that?
Yeah, I would hope so.
That's not very positive.
I mean, it's whatever, you know, Ben Johnson. I've heard somebody, a Chicago Bear fan, talking about Ben Johnson needs to get his stuff together in the red zone because they've been horrible in the red zone.
Yeah.
So,
well, the problem is, and we know this being having Swift on our team, he's not a good red zone runner. You know, like he's a good runner to get in space. He's a good runner to get you like big screenplays, but he's not a goal-to-goal red zone runner. I mean, that's why Jamal Williams had 30 touchdowns that one year, because Swift you just don't trust inside because he's not an inside the tackles type of runner in the goal line.
Right.
You know, they probably give Magungai or whatever that guy's name is probably more of the carries, but yeah, I mean the Bears. That's the biggest problem. Seems like is they just can't get in the red zone. Like you watch that Ravens game, when they get into red zone, they just falter. Like they get a false start, you know, they get a negative run or something like that. I'm surprised. I don't know about you, but I'm surprised they don't use more Caleb in like read option situations in the red zone. Like when you got a guy who can run like that, why don't you give him the read zone option? You know? Yeah, I mean. I mean, Brent. There's no Gordon. There's no Johnson. There's no Stevenson.
Well, Stevenson will play.
Oh, Stevenson will play. Okay, so there's no Gordon. There's no Johnson. I mean, shoot, it'd be Chase and Higgins should be licking their chops, in my opinion. But
well, I mean, if you got CJ back there, I mean, you don't have to do too much about having corners aren't really hard to bring in and start the same week. So, because you know,
go out there and hit somebody,
try to get the ball, whatever, and see as much stuff that everybody talks about. GJ, he is still a pretty good defensive back. So wherever you put him at, he just talks too much crap.
I think if the Bengals can have a clean game and not turn over the ball, they have a good chance of winning the game. If it's Browning out there and he throws interceptions like he gives out candy, then it's going to be Bears are just going to dominate on that end.
Yeah. Well, and again, you're playing with Flacco will be playing half-ass because he's going to be still hurt. He's still hurt. He's still got that AC joint. So, and that's on his throwing arm. So,
but Flacco's better than Browning healthy.
Yeah. We'll see. That's all I got.
We'll see. All right, moving on to the next one. Denver versus Liz's Texans. Let's see. Right now, Houston is still 1.5 favorite at home. The total for the game is let's see, 39.5. So they expect kind of a low scoring game. It's not surprising with two good defenses.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Texans, get this, are 1-6 when they're favored. Oh, that's not good.
And I think their first one was yesterday, our last game.
Right. Denver's in 10th in points. Houston's 19th. Denver's 5th in points allowed. Houston's first. So there you go. Defensive slobber knocker.
Texans are first overall in defense. Broncos are 5th. Passing defense, the Texans are 4th. The Broncos are 7th. Rushing defense, the Texans are 5th. And the Broncos are 10th. And scoring defense, the Broncos are 5th. The Texans are 1st. So Texans defense is no joke. They got a really good defense.
They're really
better,
good.
Better than Denver's, and a lot of people not give Houston that credit. They've been on a lot of games just because of their defense. So, Mims is going to be out for Denver. Of course, Patrick Surtain is not expected to be. He's not supposed to be placed on AIR. That's a good thing for him. The possibility he'll be back after the Broncos bye against the Commanders. So they'll be playing against the Commanders. But other than that, this is why I like Houston in this game. I think their defense is better. They're going to get more pressure on Bo Nix. Remember, Bo Nix is in his sophomore year. CJ Stroud at least is in his junior year, so he can, and he played a heck of a game last week too. And against that defense, San Francisco, everybody, San Francisco's defense. Yeah, well, they didn't do nothing. They knew nothing. 15 drive.
The line held up. No sacks.
Yep, and a 13-play drive, and you can't do that against a defense that's supposed to be so good. So he did well in that game enough so they can win the game. Woody Marks is going to have to step up again. Nico Collins will be playing. They'll get a couple of their receivers back, so that's good for him. But they, like you said, they lost the guard for
Howard,
Houston. Tyson Howard. Yeah, so that's going to be messed up for their offensive line, which is already decimated by injuries, and they just don't. I don't know what happened during the offseason. But anyway,
if Houston can run the football, they have a chance. If they can't run the football, they are going to put pressure on Stroud like nobody's business. Because they lead the NFL in sacks. And then you talk about Denver too. It's kind of weird because Denver leads the NFL in sacks. They also lead the NFL in protecting their quarterback. He's only been sacked 13 times in a game. So that's interesting. Also, too, you talked about the receivers. So really, the starting receivers will be Jahdae Barron from Texas, the rookie, and that Moss guy that pretty much was getting holding calls the whole game. So yeah, I think the Texan receivers, if they're physical at the line, they'll definitely be able to eat. I mean, with Nico, Hutchinson, Noel. Yeah,
it's almost like this game is going to be almost like arbitration of who's going to be better, because first you got the stronger receivers on the weaker corners, but then at the same time you got that defensive line from Denver on a so-so offensive line on Houston. So it's like an offset in penalties, which way to go there. I have more faith against Houston's defense against the offensive line for the Broncos. So that's why I give the edge to the Houston because of that.
Yeah, and you flip the side, like the receivers for Denver, Sutton, Franklin. I don't know who else they have. Sutton and Franklin. I know those are the two guys that he really has to throw the ball to. And am I forgetting somebody? Sutton, Franklin. I know they have Ingram. Is there another receiver I'm missing? Anyways, Lassiter and Stingley. Stingley's going to lock up Sutton. Like, more likely, he's going to take Sutton away.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin versus Lassiter is going to be fun to watch because Franklin's
Petrie's
really coming into
too.
his own. Who?
Petrie, or the safety.
Oh, Petrie. Okay,
from Houston. So they're going to have a majority of their defensive backs out there. So that's going to be awesome. That's what I'm saying. So I'm giving the defense. I'm giving it to Houston as far as the winning edge is concerned, because they have more of their defensive players out there, and their defensive stars, whereas the Broncos don't have that. With Surtain is like almost everything to that secondary.
Sure. No, he's the captain of the defense. But on top of that, I want to throw in the aspect of the running game for the Broncos. J.K. Dobbins is fifth in top 5 in the NFL in rushing. And the guy that they drafted, RJ Harvey, had 3 touchdowns the last game. I think they're starting to work him into the offense more. So, again, I think whoever runs the football more consistently is probably going to win the game, because the great way to stop a pass rush is to run the football. And so whoever can be successful running the football will win, more likely.
I go like this. Houston, and they're in Houston, so they haven't changed venue.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't say if they go on the road, something could change, but they're at home. They stopped CMC. He only got like 25 yards. He didn't get nothing. But that was in, you had to walk hand in hand with the offense. The offense had a couple of long drives in that game that just exhausted the defense. So they were able to do that. And that's why the defense was able to come, because they had like 3 or 4 3-and-outs San Francisco did. So that defense is not a joke. I'm just saying that defense.
Both defenses are damn good. I mean, let's just be honest. They're both good.
Yeah. Where's Houston ranked at in sacks?
It's a good question.
Because they might be like second or third.
They're probably up there. Probably top 10, maybe.
Yeah.
Let me see. Liz, if you know, you can chime in.
Yeah. So that's why I think that's a good line too. A 1.5, because it can go either way.
Yeah, and I really think a field goal probably. They're going to whoever's going to win by field goal.
Yeah.
17th in sack percentage, 16th in sacks per game. So they're middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Elizabeth said third. In sacks. In sacks, total sacks, Liz?
I mean, this is what AI says, so I'm not going to go against AI.
AI is going to run our life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have 14 sacks this season, so it's fourth in the NFL. So I guess I read it wrong.
There you go.
Wow, only 14 sacks. And I think Denver has 30 something right now. Holy hell!
Yeah,
that's insane. Okay. So Hunter and Anderson are going to have to definitely get at Bo Nix. Like I said, Bo Nix has not been sacked a lot, and Stroud has been sacked a lot. So that's another matchup too. Is what quarterback are you going to be able to keep clean in the whole game?
Well, like I said, the running game is probably going to be etched out anyway. Bo's going to probably have to win it on his arm, because I think you're going to stop the run pretty well. But that's why they play the game.
Exactly. On that note, let's go to the Chargers and Titans. Right now, the Chargers are 9.5 favorites on the road. Let's see. The over is 43.5. So kind of not a high scoring game, but somewhat of a high scoring game.
Probably one-sided. That's why.
Yeah, probably. I mean, 9.5. That's a lot of points. The Chargers are 5-3 versus. I'm sorry, 3-5 versus the spread. So when they're favored to win, they're not that good. So there you go, right there.
What's Tennessee?
Tennessee is 4-4. So 50-50.
That's when they have
that's against the spread.
Against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, the Titans aren't winning that game.
Yeah, so Chargers are 16th in scoring at 23.5. Tennessee is dead last to 13.8. Points allowed, Chargers are 12th at 21.6. Tennessee's 28.8. That's 29th in the NFL. Fourth in pass, 12th in rush. Yeah. Neither team's good at turnovers. So, yeah, I mean, for offensive defensive side, Chargers have really got a huge advantage over the Titans.
And Khalil Mack makes a lot of difference because once he came back in the last game, they played extraordinarily well in the defense. Yeah. So,
Herbert looked good. Piece. Yeah, Herbert's really running into form.
Dimes. He was throwing dimes.
Is Omarion still out? Right? He's still he's on IR. Or is he out for this game? Was he ruled out?
He's out.
Okay.
He's still out in IR, and of course, Harris is going to be out for the rest of the season. So, it will fall upon. And he plays pretty well too. The rookie that they got, he's playing pretty well. So. I know because I got him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, Vidal is a guy to keep an eye out. He had a really good game against a good Vikings defense. At least we thought it was. To get like a couple of touchdowns and over 100 yards. So definitely expect him to eat. I tried to pick him up on fantasy too, and yeah, he was already gone. The Vultures got him. Talk about the Titans real quick. Like, obviously, it's a mess. They fired their coach. Got a rookie quarterback. You don't really have a lot of weapons around him. Is there any positives you see out of the Titans right now?
No.
No. Short answer, no.
No. Can't say I see any positives right there. I mean, and they fired Brian Callahan in the after 4 or 5 games. That was dumb. Or not Brian Callahan. Yeah, Brian Callahan. That to me, that was kind of dumb. Let the guy sit there. He just got a rookie quarterback. Come on,
exactly.
Your team doesn't pick in the first top 5 because your team was great the last season, unless you make a trade. But come on.
Yeah, I'm with you, B. I hate the fact that you fire a coach after it
was his second. It was on his second year,
and surrounded with talent. Like, what the hell do you expect the quarterback to do?
Right? And you got nobody out there, and then people are leaving, requesting to leave. You got people that are on injured, are out for this season that can make a difference on that team. I wouldn't have never done that. I don't know what about these owners and their teams, man.
Yeah. Speaking of that, on that note, do you think that Simmons gets traded at all?
Could be a possibility if they're looking to rebuild. I mean, they got an intern coach in there right now. I mean, that seems to me, if you're
not going to win, you might as well get some draft picks. Simmons,
you get draft picks and rebuild. Yeah. I mean, it's the only thing I can. You got your franchise quarterback in Cam Ward. So you might as well start putting pieces together. I mean, Spears is a really good running back.
Yeah,
and they really got a decent defense. It's not been showing up because they've been down a lot, but their defense is pretty good. I mean, it's fallible, but they just need to. I don't know, man.
When you're scoring 14 points a game and you're giving up 30 points a game, that tells you right there you're not going to win.
You need to get offensive people.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the next game. Colts versus Steelers. Colts are still 3-point favorites. Over is 50.5. So another high scoring game they expect. Let's see here.
Anything in Indianapolis do I have? No, I do not.
Colts are 6-2 versus the spread. So when they get favored, they usually cover. And Steelers are 6-1 against the spread. So so there you go. Someone's got to give. Colts are number 1 in scoring at 33.8. Pittsburgh is 25th in the scoring. 6 in points allowed for the Colts at 19.3. Steelers are 22nd with 25. Colts first in yards, 6 in pass, 6 in rush, second in turnover differential. So they're pretty good. Now, a lot of people will say they haven't really played anybody. If you look at their schedule has been pretty weak. Outside of the Chargers, they really haven't played a lot of world beaters.
Well, yeah, and the Colts defense is really not that great.
They got a lot of guys. They don't have like stars.
They're 26th overall. Of course, the Steelers are 30th overall. Passing defense, the Steelers are
19th.
last.
Oh, last?
So you can throw on them all day, yeah.
Oh, that's Colts passing yards, yeah.
And the Colts are 29th. Go figure. Rushing defense, though, the Colts are 8th, and the Steelers are 18th.
Right.
Scoring defense, let's see what we got here. Steelers are 22nd, and the Colts are
6.
Yep. So, with all that being said, I think the Colts could win this game. I think they could win by. I think they'll cover. I don't think they go over 3.5. To tell you the truth, I got no faith in it. I got no faith in Pittsburgh's secondary.
I'm with you. But the thing is that the Steelers have to win this game because Lamar wins tonight, and you look at Lamar's schedule; it's more favorable than the Steelers is. They have to win this game to keep up with Lamar. If they lose,
and winning are two different things. That's all I got to say.
Well, I will say this. If the Colts can consistently run Jonathan Taylor and the Steelers can't stop him, it's going to be a long day for the Steelers. However, if they can get pressure on Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones, when he gets pressured, he makes mistakes. So, but it's going to come down to Jonathan Taylor. And I thought that the Steelers did a decent job on Jacobs. He didn't really get any big runs, but they got shredded in the secondary, like you said. So
yeah, and the thing is, they haven't really faced any quality running backs either, Pittsburgh. So,
But I'm not scared about the receivers that the Colts have. I mean, Pittman's not a bad receiver. Warren's a good rookie. I like my chances with the Steelers secondary. I think they could do a decent job. I mean, it's going to come down to pressure. If they can stop Jonathan Taylor and they can get pressure on Daniel Jones, they have a chance.
I'm not buying that either. I don't think they're going to do a very good job. They played against receivers that weren't really that good in the Packers. I mean, they're all number 2s. There's no number 1 out there for the Packers. But you have clear-cut number 1s and 2s on Indianapolis. As Pittman is a number 1. And then you got Josh Downs. You got the rookie who can't hold on to the ball, but he's Mitchell. He's a good one. Yep. Yeah, I mean, they got good play. And then they got Ty Warren. Who's going to cover Ty Warren? Nobody. Not on Pittsburgh. So
yeah, that's going to be a tough matchup. Well, we'll have to see what happens there. I mean, I think it'll be a pretty good game. I think the Steelers will hang in there. My thing is, can Daniel Jones, if the game's tight, can Daniel Jones win the game for them? Because that's the maturation of Daniel Jones. Is like so far he hadn't really been in close games, so you really haven't had to see him like bring a team back or have a game-winning drive. The closest one would be the Chargers, which he actually did. If Taylor didn't get called or they didn't call that holding call on Mitchell against the Chargers, they would have won the game. So. But I want to see Daniel Jones, see how he plays if the game's close, which I think is going to be a close game. Because
you mean you talk about Indianapolis against Denver?
No, Steelers. Yeah, I think it's going to be like a field goal game. That's why the line is 3. I think it's going to be won by a field goal. So Daniel Jones either is going to have to get them in the field goal range or keep them, keep them ahead. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm not buying the line either. I think it's going to be a 7-point game. They might even win by 10. I just don't. Pittsburgh is just in shambles right now. I don't care what anybody says. They need to start making some changes, and they need to start making them quick. You got an old-ass Jalen Ramsey out there. You got an old-ass Darius Slay out there. They're not the corners they used to be. And then you got poor Porter out there having to cover everybody because nobody else can cover nobody else. So and now you're down to safety too. Deshaun Elliott's out. Right. Now they did get Kyle Duggar from the Patriots.
Patriots.
So in exchange for a 2026 6th-round draft pick, but I don't know if Kyle Duggar is going to be able. He's a good safety.
I'm going to go back to that. They should never trade Minkah Fitzpatrick, dude, because Minkah Fitzpatrick was the quarterback of that secondary. Mm-hmm. Like Jalen Ramsey is old in the tooth, and he's not the Jalen Ramsey that was the Jaguars, Jalen Ramsey, or the Rams. Like every player has their limitations as they get older, but Minkah Fitzpatrick was the guy in the backfield. I don't know why they made that trade. But I will say this, that where's TJ Watt? Like, you paid him a lot of money, like, and dude needs to show up.
Where's the whole defense at? You paid that whole defense.
Well, but essentially TJ Watt is the defense.
That whole defense is expensive. It's the most expensive defense in the NFL, and they're not showing up. So that says a lot right there. And it's run by Mike Tomlin. So when you see stuff like this, and Mike Tomlin's defensive coach, and you see stuff like this, obviously, probably if they don't do well by the end of the season, pretty sure they're going to get rid of Terrell Austin. If Tomlinson doesn't walk, he might be on that cut and block too.
They might ask him to just leave.
The Rooney's got so much patience.
They're so loyal.
The thing that's been keeping Tomlin there is that he's had a winning season every time he's been there. So
and like the Packers, they've only had 3 coaches in their whole franchise. Cowher,
Super Bowl era,
Cowher, Tomlin, and who was the other guy? That won the
Chuck Noll.
There you go, Chuck Noll. Yeah, so three coaches. Mm-hmm. So they don't move on. They don't move on for coaches very quickly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. All right, Falcons and Patriots. Right now, the Patriots are 5.5-point favorites at home. The over/under is 44.5. So again, one of those middle road games. I think it could be a little high scoring, maybe not too high scoring. Let's see. Falcons are 3-4 versus the spread. The Patriots are 3-5 against when they're favored on the spread. So interesting. 28th in points, 8th in points for the Patriots, 13th in points allowed for the Falcons, 4th for New England. Wow. I know their defense was that good. Scoring defense, at least.
Yeah, total defense, second for the Falcons. I don't know how they continue to be high up there in the total defense when they've been playing crappy football. And the Patriots are 9th in total defense. Passing defense, the Falcons are 1st. Go figure. I don't know that one either.
Wow, really? So the Patriots are 4th Patriots are 4th in scoring defense. So,
and then the Patriots are 19th against the pass. Patriots are 2nd against the run, though.
Yeah.
And the
staple of
Falcons. Where are the Falcons at? They should be up here a little bit. Falcons are 21st against the run. So, and
who's going to be quarterback for the Falcons this week? Is Penix back, or is it going to be Kirk Cousins?
Well, Penix is day to day with a bone bruise. He says he feels better, and he's been at practice, although in a limited status. Also, Drake London also had limited practice, but he's supposed to be back in the game for this Sunday. And they're both questionable, but I'm pretty sure they're both going to play.
If they're questionable, they're going to play. We already know that.
Javon Walker was at practice today too. That's going to give them a boost on there. When Javon Walker was on that defense, they played a lot better. So if he's able to play Sunday, that might give him a little bit more of a chance to get that win. It's just that you can't. It's a coaching thing to me, because you go to Carolina and you get shut out. Come on, you got Bijan Robinson, Penix, Drake London.
Yeah, it's no excuse.
The Pitts, you got too much, and they're supposed to have a pretty good offensive line. So what's the problem?
And then you lose to Miami at home.
Then you lose to Miami, and you get your butt kicked by Miami at home, and that's uncalled for. I mean, that some franchises would consider that getting rid of their coach immediately.
Yeah, I think it falls on Raheem Morris big time, because Raheem Morris, you can argue when you watch the quarterback, if you watched it,
Mhm.
Raheem Morris probably stuck with Cousins too long and then put Penix in. And then, even Penix didn't really dominate, and he just went with Penix instead of coming back to Kirk. So, that whole quarterback situation is really looking bad on him because really he's got nobody right now. I mean,
Mhm.
Penix is okay. He's not a great quarterback, and Kirk Cousins looks like needs to retire. So, it's an ugly situation with the Falcons. I mean, it sucks because they got Bijan Robinson, who's like one of the top running backs in the NFL, and you've got Drake London, who's a good young receiver. But they're finally getting Kyle Pitts the ball. My God, it's about time Kyle Pitts gets
Well,
any choices.
I'd say Raheem Morris is in the same situation as Mike Tomlin is. I mean, he's a
Yeah,
defensive coach, but their
sure.
defense is statistically good,
Yeah.
but when they need to be playing games, they don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. This is why it baffles me to see them this high in the defensive rankings as they
Right.
are. But then when you see them on the field, it's like, what the hell?
Well,
What defense is this?
yeah, I think the fact that they can get to the quarterback with Walker and Pierce, they have guys that can get to the quarterback with those pass rushers, and then also too, Terrell's one of the best cornerbacks out there, you know, and so I think that he does a good job of kind of shutting down the pass.
And they still
Um,
got Bates.
So got Bates. Let me ask you this question: What matchup looks more favorable to you? Stephon Diggs versus Terrell, or Gonzalez versus London?
Probably Stephon Diggs on Terrell.
Mm-hmm.
Only reason why I say that because Gonzalez really in man coverage, you can't. He's got a really good high
Yeah,
percentage in man coverage,
super good.
and he's playing against Drake London, who's only the second year receiver, third year receiver.
6'5" Drake London.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Christian Gonzalez is a dog. And he's like one of the most underrated corners in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably give it to Stephon Diggs in that case.
Who do you think has the most yards?
Well, Stephon is crafty. I think Stephon has the most yards
Okay.
because Terrell, he's a great corner too. I'm not taking digs at Terrell because
Oh,
Terrell's a really good
Terrell's
corner too.
fantastic, man. Yeah, for sure.
But
He's
he
fantastic.
has his games where he gets lax too.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that game that they played against the Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
Terrell was caught lunching. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not good. That's what I'm talking about. That's a coaching thing. You're not getting your players to incorporate themselves in the game, then you got problems.
Do you think that the players are slowly kind of giving up on Morris, or do you think
They
yeah,
keep they keep
I
losing the
mean,
way they're losing. They're going to end up losing that confidence, and that's going to end up breaking up that locker room. So you're going to have your guys that are for Morris, and then you have your guys that are against him. I would think at this point right now, Bijan's one of those guys against him because they don't run him enough. They need to
I
run
think
him more.
yeah, I think this Falcons team has really underachieved a lot throughout the Morris era. I mean, remember he had that issue with Arthur Smith, how he wouldn't play Bijan Robinson either. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when Bijan's a talent like that, you've got to get him in space. You got to get him out there in flats and utilize him in every aspect. And it's really crazy how they don't. Like he's one of your best players, arguably one of the best players in the NFL, and you don't even use him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not good.
All right.
So, all right, moving on. Panthers versus the Packers. Packers are a 13.5-point favorite at home. Panthers, I'm sorry, the over is 44.5. Let's see.
And they got 13.5 point spread, right?
Mm-hmm. The Packers are 3-4 versus the spread, so they're 50-50 themselves.
Yeah.
They don't cover a lot.
Yeah, because they lost to Cleveland. That's a good thing. And then it tied to Dallas. Those are both games they were favored in, and they tied and
Exactly.
lost.
Yeah, screw them over, so don't bet them. Panthers are 27th in points at 19. Packers are 5th in scoring at 27.6. Panthers are 20th in points allowed at 24. Green Bay is 10th in points allowed at 21.4. And yeah, neither team takes the ball away either, surprisingly.
Yeah, not so much for the Panthers, but
and I'm assuming Bryce Young's going to play this game, right? He listed.
Yeah, Bryce Young. Bryce Young was a full participant yesterday and today.
Okay, so he's going to play
and is on track to play against the Packers, so he'll be playing.
Okay.
So Green Bay is 6th overall defense with the Panthers 11th. Against the pass, surprisingly, Panthers are 10th and the Packers are 15th.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about surprisingly. I think they have one good player on the back end for the Panthers, and that's Horn.
Mm-hmm.
Rushing defense, and you really can't. Well, I mean, besides the safeties on Green Bay, but they're in the back end of the coverage. Really ain't got nobody. Yeah. The Packers are 30 in rushing defense. So that's going to match up well with the Panthers because I think they're pretty high up there against running the ball.
Dabble and Chuba, yeah.
And let's see, the Panthers are 16th against the rush, so that bodes well for Jacobs. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the scoring defenses are
I think the only way the Panthers have a chance of winning this game is they have to play mistake-free football for sure, and they have to be able to run the football. Mm-hmm. They have to go on long drives and wear that defense out, wear out Micah Parsons, so you take away the pass rush. And they can because they have two good running backs in Dowdle and they have in Chuba Hubbard. Now, the thing is, with Green Bay, I like Green Bay's linebackers. I like Edgerrin Cooper. Of course, he's an Aggie, gig him. But I also like Quay Walker, too, if he keeps his head on straight. Like, he is an athlete from side to side, and that is probably that's probably the biggest strength of the Packers defense is those two linebackers because they can literally guard anybody and cover a lot of ground. And so if they can get a hat on those linebackers, then you're talking about the Panthers having success because if your safeties having to make tackles, that's not good.
I'm going to tell you what, if I was an offensive coordinator for the Panthers, anytime I saw Micah Parsons lining up in the middle, because they shift them all over the place, lining up in the middle, I'd call a run right at him because he can't stop the run that way. And everybody knows that. He's more of a pass rusher. That's his job.
Right. Yeah.
He's not going to be stopping the run. That's not his job. Some players are good at it. I was one of those people that felt, to that because I wasn't very impressed with him at all. But then he's a pass rusher. That's what he gets paid to do. And he does a very good job at that. Let's not.
He's one of the top pass rushers out there for sure.
Yep,
Absolutely.
He won Player of the Month, by the way, NFL Player of the Month. So Defensive Player of the Month for the NFC. So he's good enough to be in that category. So, but when you see him running, lining up in the middle against your offense, run at him, change that call to a run real quick.
I like how you said that because I also think too, like if you see him lining up right in the A gaps or the B gaps, screenplay, like wear him out, or stuff like that. Because with a good pass rusher, you either want to chip him or you want to make him run, to wear him out so he doesn't have that kind of extra burst. Yeah. I think what helps the Panthers in this game is since Dalton's not going to play, which is good, it's going to be Young. Young has the ability to get around and escape the pocket. And that's one thing that Green Bay hasn't really had a lot of people to deal with that. Like you look at all the quarterbacks, even Jacoby Brissett wasn't that fast of a runner. Bryce Young's has more little speed than Brissett does. So it's just going to be a matter if they can just run the football, whether it's Young, whether it's Dowdle, whether it's Chuba. That's the only way they have a chance. Right. If they can't run the football, they're screwed.
Yeah, because I mean their receiving core is I mean Texas is doing a good job, but Xavier McKinney is still Xavier McKinney, Xavier Legette. He's still a project. So
Hunter Renfrow,
and they don't really have a really good tight end either. So they they definitely got to set that screen up so they can get some runs off of that, and then they have to
they're run based offense. They live off running the football. They did that with the Cowboys,
Yeah. So I think Green Bay will still win the game. I just don't think they're going to cover that 13.5. I just think Panthers are a lot better defensively than people give them credit for.
I agree. I think that people are really sleeping on the Panthers defense, and they have some guys. Scorton's rushing the passer. You got
Scorton's
Horn,
excellent.
You got Horn that's earning his money finally. He's looking like the cornerback that they paid him to be. Like they've got some guys that can wreak havoc. And one thing about Love is Love struggles with bad teams. It's really weird. Like if you look at his best games, he went dual with the Cowboys. He beat up the Steelers, but he struggled against the Browns. He struggled against the Cardinals. He struggled against the Bengals. So they have a chance.
Yeah.
But they have to take the ball away. Like they can't turn over the ball, but they got to try and take the ball away in any aspect possible.
Yep.
And run the football. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, sir.
All right. Jaguars and Raiders. Jaguars are 2.5 favorites on the road. Vegas. The total is 44.5. And I just saw this on TV. Travis Hunter's been added to the injury report.
Yep. He might not play.
Right. The Raiders are 3-4 versus the spread. Jags are 4-3. Jags are 25th in points per game at 20.9. Vegas is dead last at 14.7. 15th in points allowed at 22.1. Vegas is 23rd at 25.7.
And the Raiders are 17th in total defense, and the Jaguars are 21st against the pass defense.
This has got ugly written all over it.
Yeah, it does. It's got boring and ugly written all over it, to tell you the truth.
That's exactly how I felt. I was like, this has got ugly written all over it.
The passing defense, Raiders are 20th, and the Jaguars are 27th. It might be a chance for Jaguars get upset in this game. That's for sure. They're 6th against the run, though. The Jaguars are, where the Raiders are. The Raiders ain't too bad either. They're not better than the Jags. They're 13th against the rush. And as far as scoring defense, you got Jags are 15th and the Raiders are 23rd.
Yeah.
So
this comes down to
this is going to be one of those games. This is another one of those games you don't want to touch, really, because
it could go either way.
Jacksonville hasn't sold me on anything they're doing either.
Right.
The Raiders are pretty bad, but they haven't. At least I know they're bad. Jacksonville keeps playing that Jekyll and Hyde on you, and I don't. I don't like that. I still don't trust Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Their running game is and their passing game. Where's Brian Thomas at? Brian Thomas needs to sew his butt up. And in fact, they might not even have Travis Hunter. Not that he's been doing that much, but anything helps you when you're playing.
Sure.
So you
don't want Brandon Thomas getting double teamed all the time. You want to have that
exactly.
Side. They also have Jacoby Myers. Or no, that's on Oakland. Never mind.
And I think that also our guy Patrick is also had limited playing time too.
Oh yeah, Timmy Patrick. Yeah, he might get a little bit of role now because of Hunter being out.
Yeah.
This to me comes down to the quarterbacks. Whichever quarterback doesn't turn over the ball is probably going to win. Because
that's what I'm saying. I would not bet on this game because both quarterbacks could be turnovers.
Geno Smith has just been a turnover machine. Probably, I think he leads the NFL in turnovers. Trevor Lawrence has had his moments where he's looked really bad at times.
Brent is sticking with this. Brent has been on this. Pakistan's going to get beat.
I mean, yeah. I don't know about the overrated part. I think you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, Love is showing that he's starting to come around. I got to see him win some big games in the playoffs to really get him to the next level. But back to the game. Yeah, I think whichever quarterback doesn't turn over the ball probably will win. Both defenses are okay. I think the Jaguars defense is a little bit better, and they're aggressive. Is Lloyd playing? Because Lloyd was leading the NFL in interceptions. Okay,
yeah, he's playing. I got him.
So that's a big comeback because he wasn't playing. I don't know if he played the last game or the game before that, but he was out, and so that's a big boost for their defense. And then they got Akolakun or whatever they call his name, Akolakon. I like him too.
Oh yeah, that guy used to lead the league in tackles. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they got that trade. Newson's now their cornerback. They traded Campbell away. So, yeah, I think if Jacksonville can get pressure on Geno and force him to turn over the ball, Jacksonville will win. If Geno can play a clean game and get Genty going, then they have a chance.
And just remember that the Raiders still have Max Crosby. Now, I don't know if I didn't see any injury report for him because I know he was injured. I think he is coming back in this game.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for them.
What about Bowers? Is Bowers back yet?
Bowers was a full participant at Raiders. He has
he's going to play
against the Jags.
Okay, so Bowers is back too. So that's good news for Geno because you don't have to throw the ball downfield. You just check it to Bowers.
Short passes, and let him run all the way through.
And give Genty the ball. Yeah. So I think this is going to be a win for Vegas, man. I think that being at home, Vegas needs a good win, and I think that they're going to get it with this
is a very hard game to pick on, but I just think that like I said, I don't trust Jacksonville. Jacksonville might have a good record, but they haven't played very many good teams either. So
that's true.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Saints and Rams.
You're not talking about the other 1 o'clock game?
The what?
You're not talking. You didn't do all the 1 o'clock games. You forgot the game that Detroit and Minnesota.
How dare me? How dare me, man? We already know what's going to happen, but let's talk about it. All right, Lions and Vikings. Lions are 8.5 favorites at home. The over is 48.5, which they expect probably a high-scoring game. Let's see. My Lions are 5-2 when they're favored to win, so that's good. Let's see. Vikings are 18th in scoring. Lions are 3rd in scoring at 30. Points allowed. Vikings are 19th at 23.1. Lions are 21.6, which is 11th. And turnover differential, the Lions are 5th in the NFL. Vikings, surprisingly, are 22 with all those turnovers that one game. What you say?
Well, Brian Branch is going to return to practice. He's been on suspension, obviously. He apologized and states that Terry Arnold will be back, and he states he has another chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he got baptized too.
Yeah, well, you need to get baptized.
Hey, man.
You need to get the demons out.
A pissed off BB and motivated BB is what I want to see.
Also, Aiden Hutchinson reached an agreement with the Lions on a 4-year, $180 million contract with $141 million guaranteed. So he'll be fresh off of getting paid. So that'll help him out a little bit. Hopefully, it'll motivate him to play even harder. I mean,
how do you feel about that deal? Real quick, how do you feel about that? I think
it's pretty good. It's a fair deal. I think it's a really good deal. He's the second most non-quarterback paid right now. So I think he deserved that.
And he's the youngest, he's the youngest on that list. Like, Parsons is a little bit older than Hutchinson, and you know what? A lot of the naysayers will be like, okay, Parsons is better than Hutchinson. He might be a better sack guy, but if you ask me who's got an overall better player, it's Aiden. He can run. He can play the run well. He can rush the passer. He can force fumbles. Hell, he can even intercept the ball. Like Parsons is more of a one-trick pony where he could just rush the passer. Like you talked.
He's a hell of a trick pony, though. That's the point.
Oh yeah.
But Aiden Hutchinson is leading the league in pressures as well. He still has 7 sacks now? He still has 7 sacks?
I think it's 6.
6?
Because Parsons has 6.5.
No, I thought he had 7, but anyway.
Everybody's been
So
comparing Parsons to Hutchinson.
I
know all their stats.
I mean, really, I really think that most of these players coming back. Rodriguez is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Also, J.J. McCarthy for the Vikings is coming back. Mm-hmm. So because of Carson Wentz being out for the rest of the season.
O'Neill's going to be back for them, looks like, on the O-line.
Yeah. So
not sure about Darrisaw.
Darrisaw, yeah, he just got. Well, he had. I think it was a day off. I'm not sure, but he had a full practice the day before. So I don't know if he got hurt in between that time or what happened. And maybe he's just a day of rest. But even with that being said, it's in Ford Field. They play really well at Ford Field, and they've beaten Minnesota Vikings like 4 straight times. So I don't think anything's going to change there. I actually think they're gonna cover that. Right on a dot too. I think it's going to be a 10-point win by them. But
I think it might be more, but yeah.
I'm not taking Minnesota for granted either. Minnesota's well coached. They got good coaches there. And
that's what I said, Brent. I said 40-20. I said 40-23, Brent. So I'm with you, bro. I think it's going to be a blowout.
But yeah, the whole point of the end of the day is that they come away with the win. And Vikings go home with an L. So
I'll say this. I seeing Shep take down Lamar Jackson, seeing him kind of keep Patrick Mahomes for the most part at bay. Going against who are the quarterbacks that played that were pretty decent. I'm blanking here.
I mean, they didn't do too bad against Jordan Love. They didn't do too bad against.
So
they did fair.
I'm not worried about JJ McCarthy, man. If Shep can't control JJ McCarthy, I'm a little worried. Because it's not Lamar Jackson.
He did a good job on Caleb after he made some adjustments.
Yeah.
What's the one thing good about Shep is that he makes good adjustments. So
exactly,
that'll be everything. That's something AD didn't do very well. That's why I always said that Shep was going to be a better defensive.
Oh, Baker. That's another one. Baker. He did a good job against Baker too.
Good job
with literally backups. So yeah, I don't think JJ's
corners. Yeah, but that defensive line was relentless on Baker. That's what caused a lot of those overthrows and how those corners were able to play those receivers is because that defensive line was getting to Baker pretty well. And so if they can do the same thing, they'll be fine.
And you probably would argue that actually. I'm not saying he's Baker Mayfield, but JJ has a similar game to Baker Mayfield. Strong arm guy, can run out of the pocket, will put the ball in harm's way if pressured. So I think that same kind of formula is kind of how you want to attack JJ McCarthy. Bring the heat,
JJ's decision making isn't great because this is his second year. He hasn't played a whole season yet.
Sure.
So his decision making is not up to par. So that'll help the Lions out a whole bunch right there. Just that. Yeah. So because the linebackers are tight. I know Cunningham's not playing, which sucks. He's on IR now. But
Rodrigo's back.
Rodrigo's is back, and the defensive line's been playing out their damn mind. So everybody's healthy on D line, so that's good. So as long as they can get pressure on there, and then we're getting some of our corners and our safeties back, that's great. As long as we can hold it. I mean, we saw Amik hold down JJ in the last game of the season last year. So whoever's on JJ is just going to have to do a fabulous job on him. So he's going to get his probably.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I got a feeling that this is going to be a big JMO game because, Johnny Morton came out and said, I failed. I need to work on getting JMO the ball. Usually whenever you hear a presser saying, I need to get this guy the ball more, they're going to make a point of emphasis to get him the ball. And I think that with Rodgers possibly being a game time decision, that's huge because JMO is going to probably be guarded.
He doesn't torch anybody. Doesn't make a difference who's covering him. He's fast.
True. But I think
the thing I don't like, though, is when you say that, I don't want 50% of the plays going to JMO. That's not how the offense works. I mean, when you make a point of it, that means that the quarterback's going to make a point to try to get the ball to him. And JMO and Goff don't really have that good of a connection yet because of that. So they have to work that out in practice somehow, some way. But he needs to incorporate JMO in different ways, not just being a wide receiver. He needs to do jet sweeps and stuff like that, stuff that he was doing before.
Right.
And
Little trick plays if you want to throw something in there, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think too.
I don't want them. I don't want Goff going to him 50 times. 50 out of the.
Well, I think the first drive. I think the first drive they're gonna try to make a point of emphasis getting him the ball early, like they have in some games. But I would say this: if Flores is gonna bring,
just remember this though. Minnesota knows this now that it's out in the air.
Yeah, sure. So. But I would say, like, if Flores is going to blitz the hell out of Goff, and Goff has been really good about picking apart his blitzes, I would take those shots at JMO. I'm just saying, and some of his big plays have come against the Vikings, so we'll see.
No, as long as the calls are on point with what the blitzes are, so
true.
But anyway.
All right, moving on. Rams and Saints. Rams are 14-point favorites at home. The over-under is 43.5. Let's see. So the Rams are 4-3 versus the spread. 29th for the New Orleans in points per game at 16. Rams are 11th with 25. Saints are 24th in points allowed. Rams are 3rd at 16.7. And point differential, Rams are 10th. And
so overall defense, surprisingly enough, well, I wouldn't say surprisingly enough because the Saints defense is not too bad. The Rams are 13th in overall defense, and the Saints are. Then again, I could be telling lies. Let me see here. Where they at? 15th. So they're not too far from where the Rams are defensively. Is total defense, passing defense. They are 9th against the pass. That's good for them. They do have pretty good pass defense. That's what keeps them in the game a lot of times too. Rams are 14th against the pass. In rushing defense, the Rams are 14th and the Saints are 20th. So you can run the ball on them. That's their Achilles heel there. And like you said, in the scoring defense, Rams are 3rd and the Saints are way down here, 24th. So I'm still going to give it to the Rams because they're in LA. 14
and they're starting a rookie quarterback. Shuck is going to be their starting quarterback.
Yeah, 14, but still 14.5 is kind of a lot for that situation. I think the Saints will play pretty good defense. I just don't think that they're going to be able to keep up with the scoring for the Rams. As Stafford, if he starts balling out on them, it's going to be over real quick. But I don't see them winning by more than 14.5. I think they're going to probably keep that game to about a 10-point win. 13-point at the most, so I'm gonna take the Rams with the points because and then 43.5 ain't that many points to be scoring either. So
no, and I think you said like one of the games is probably gonna be more one-sided. I think that with Puka being out, Stafford developed a little bit more rapport with Devontae Adams, and so now he's got more trust in Devontae Adams, and of course he loves Puka, so. Yeah, it's going to be hard to stop that offense. And then Kyren Williams. At some point, Kyren Williams has got to get right. I know he's had some fumbles, and according to some people, McVay's lost a little confidence in Kyren because of the fumble issues. So they're relying more on the passing game. But I think Kyren Williams will be fine. This will be a good get-back game for him against the Saints. And that defense, man, Jared Verse and Fisk and Young, oh man, that D-line is just fun to watch, man. And they traded for a cornerback too. They got that guy from the Titans, I believe.
Yeah,
just a guy, but they need to.
Darian Williams was out for the season. He didn't even make it to the season to be to play. And he's one of their better corners.
And they got Curl and Kitchens and all that are young guys. So I don't know what this guy, what they liked about this guy, but they brought him in. So I guess we'll see what happens.
But that'll be a good game. But I mean, for the Rams,
Yeah,
I don't know about poor James the Saints, man. I don't know about them right now, but they play
sure.
good. They play with some heart, but then
Right.
they're not winning. So
Yeah, for sure. All right. Chiefs and Bills.
game of
Chiefs
the
are
week.
1.5 favorites. Yeah, game of the week. 1.5 favorites on the road against the Bills. The over-under is 52.5. Let's see here. The the Chiefs are 5-3 versus the spread. Chiefs are 7th in points. Buffalo is 4th in points. So high scoring game. Chiefs are 2nd in points allowed at 16.4. Buffalo is 9th at 20.9.
Total defense. The Chiefs are 4th in total defense. Bills are 12th. Passing defense. The Bills are 2nd. Chiefs are 3rd. That's interesting.
Chiefs are really good defensively.
Rushing, and they really haven't played anybody either. That's another thing. The Lions are about the only people that they really had, and maybe the Chiefs. I mean, not the Chiefs, but the Chargers, and they lost to them. But let's see who else here. Okay, so then on their rushing defense, boy, these guys suck on both. The Chiefs are 11th.
Yeah,
the Bills are terrible. They're 31st against the run. If anybody has a get right game in here, it's Pacheco.
They can't stop. They can't stop
the run.
Right.
And yeah, like you said, you're scoring defense 2nd, and the Bills are 9th. I just think that tradition is going to hold up on itself, unfortunately, for Buffalo. Meaning, what I mean by unfortunately is they're going to win the game, but when it comes time to be in the playoffs with the Chiefs, they're going to lose again, probably. But I think they can beat the Chiefs at home. Like I said, the Chiefs beat Vegas. They beat the Commanders. They lost to Jacksonville, which is a surprise. And they beat the Lions. That's about the best team they've played out of all those teams that they've played, except for maybe the Chargers. The Chargers were a pretty good team. Yeah, so I mean, they've been losing some games they shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, I think if the Chiefs want to, if the Buffalo wants to win this game, they're going to have long drives and keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, because that's really their best defense, is to just their offense is to run the football, sustain drives, score touchdowns. That's something that we couldn't do. We had our slip ups, but that's the same philosophy that Buffalo should do. And if Buffalo can do that, they should win. If they can't do that, then it's going to be hard to stop Patrick Mahomes with that.
It's always nice defense, though, before you play one of these big games, that you get to beat up on somebody that's not that great. And like Buffalo went to Carolina and beat the crap out of them. So I think what they did was they got some of their juju back a little bit, and maybe once you have a taste of winning a game after you've lost a couple of straight to a couple of bad teams too, then you want to go and make a point against Kansas City. I think Kansas City's in the same boat.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think this game's going to be a good game. Both two great quarterbacks. Kansas City's defense is playing really, really well. Buffalo's got to win this game. I mean, Buffalo, they had some snoozers. They lost to the Falcons. They beat up the Panthers. But this is an uptick in their competition. I think they really need to win this game just for the morale for themselves going forward and the confidence to take into the.
And in fact, they have to keep pace with New England, because New England is also one of the teams that beat them.
Yeah.
So they got to keep pace with New England in order to win that division. If they slip up and New England keeps winning and doing what they're doing, it's going to be a long road for Buffalo. And I don't.
Yeah.
People had picked Buffalo to. They were at the beginning of the season. They were favored to win every game that they played this year. That has changed completely around. Because of what?
Well, the fact that they can't stop anybody on defense.
They can't stop the run. Yeah, they can't stop the run for nothing.
Which is huge. Yeah, because if you can't stop the run, you're going to struggle against the pass too.
But they did make a valiant effort against Carolina, and I thought if they could beat Carolina and have them stop them from running, and it's what they did. They stopped them from running. Chuba wasn't effective and neither was Dowdle. So
No.
when you eliminate those two people out of that offense for Carolina, you basically eliminated their offense. So
it's a start.
Yeah, it's a start. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We have here. Oh no. Dang it.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks versus the Commanders. Seahawks are 3-point favorites on the road. It's a 47.5 total. Let's see here. Seattle is 5-2 versus the spread, so that means that they cover a lot of times. Let's see. 5th in points per game at 27. Washington is 17th. 7th in points allowed for Seattle, and 24th is 21st in the NFL for the Commanders at 24.8. And neither team is good taking the ball away. So,
yeah, and also McLaren is going to be out for this week. He re-aggravated his his quad injury. He re-aggravated a quad injury, so he's going to be out.
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, yeah,
that's going to hurt.
Mm-hmm. And Daniels, I don't think Daniels is playing either, right?
So, yeah, I'm giving Seattle all the props in this one. Seattle is 10th in overall defense, and the Commanders are 27th. Passing defense, this is something that is kind of hard for the Seahawks. The Seahawks aren't really good in pass defense. They're 23rd. Commanders are 26th. This is what Terry McLaurin would come in handy, and Jaden Daniels. Rushing defense, Seahawks are number 1 against the run. So Bill is going to have a hard time running on that defense.
Yeah, their D-line is good at getting to the quarterback and good at stopping the run.
Yeah.
And that bodes well for Seattle.
Yeah.
The thing with me about this game, because I think the Commanders could win this game, more so because they're at home. But the fact is that Sam Darnold has at times made some dumb mistakes. You know, like the sack and the safety in the against the Texans. You know, like when he gets pressured, he kind of lets the ball flutter. And I mean, the Commanders don't have a great defense, but they got players that can get to the quarterback and rough things up. Luvu is one of the better players they have. Marshawn Lattimore recently has played well. He's going to have his hands full with JSN. They'll probably have to bracket him. I don't know. I mean, like, Seattle has to come all the way across the country. That's another thing, too. Those games are a little bit more interesting. I don't know. I mean, I think Seattle should win the game, but I'd stay away from it.
I don't think that coming across the country, because there's teams have done that all season and won games. True. So it's not
true.
I don't
it's not
know
as bad as it was, but it's still a long trip. Yeah.
Seattle is well traveled. You know, they're a well traveled team. They can win on a road. I think this is actually too small of a cover here, 2.5. I think they're going to win by about a touchdown and maybe 10 points on this one too, because Washington is just depleted. They're not going anywhere right now. I don't think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. When they get done with this game, they have to play Detroit. And it's not going to be pretty for him in that game either. I don't care if McDaniels is playing or Scary Terry. It doesn't make a difference. I think that right now they're in a tailspin. They don't have enough players that are healthy enough to play all the way through. They're not having a good season this year. They're having their definition of a sophomore slump with for the second year. So
I think if the Commanders can keep it close, that gives them the hope. If Seattle comes out and lays belt to ass to them, it's probably going to be early.
I kind of look at that, the belt to ass thing happening.
It's possible. Just by the way, I just saw this on TV. The Lions line went up to 9.5. So somebody's not playing. Because
maybe the betting is more favorable toward the Lions.
Maybe that too. Yeah. All right. And let's wrap up this segment with the Cardinals versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 2.5 favorites at home. Arizona, I'm sorry, it's a 54.5 spread, so another high scoring game. Let's see. Cardinals are 19th in scoring. What's up?
I think the Keebler Elf is playing in this game too.
Yeah, I just saw that too. Yeah, I think he's in. Cowboys are second in scoring at 30.8. Cardinals are 13th in points allowed with 22, and Cowboys are dead last at 31.
Yep.
And
that's basically what their total defense is too.
If Murray's in this game, that's different. That makes me change my pick. Well, not change my pick, but that kind of makes me think that they have a chance. Because I like Jacoby Brissett, but Murray can run around, and Dallas can't stop anybody. Like, they can't stop the run, they can't stop the pass.
Yeah, it all depends on how Cardinals play defensively, because they played against a really good Denver team and got their butts handed to them, but that was against a really good Denver team.
Denver took out that offense completely.
Yeah, I don't think Cardinals have enough manpower to do that, to tell you the truth. I think Dak will be back to his good ways this game. He wasn't bad in the last game either. So, I mean, it's their defense is not great, but Cardinals, they kind of figure out ways to lose, even at home. And they lost against Tennessee. Come on, Tennessee. You lost to Tennessee.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And it wasn't because the Tennessee did anything. Tennessee just took advantage of what the Cardinals were messing up on. And the Cardinals lost that game. It wasn't Tennessee winning that game. It was the Cardinals losing that game. And
that's pretty. You can't justify that one. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, you can't. The Cardinals are. I picked them to be number 2 in that division, but maybe I was thinking second from last in the NFC. But anyway, they aren't doing very good. So I'm not. I got Dallas in this one. I just like Dallas's offense a whole lot more than I like Arizona's offense.
Yeah,
and even with Cardinals, even applying some pressure on that offense, I don't like the Cardinals defense like I would.
Yeah, we're both on the Cowboys for sure.
Yeah.
I will say this. I am interested to see, Javonte Williams has played really well for the Cowboys. Like, he's been a revelation since he left Denver. He revitalized himself. I think if the Cowboys can run Javonte Williams most of the game and they can't stop him, it's going to be a long day for the Cardinals, because if you can run the football on the Cardinals, it's only going to make the passing game even more dangerous. Now, the Cardinals did a pretty good job with Josh Jacobs at times when they played the Packers. So if they can stop Javonte Williams and make Dak pass the ball a lot, they might have a chance.
Look at that. He's got a pass to, though. CD.
Yeah,
Pickens and Ferguson. Everybody keeps forgetting about Ferguson. Ferguson's one of those good tight ends that are slowly creeping up.
Ferguson's been playing his ass out too. Yeah,
and their offensive line ain't too bad, but it's like I said, against a team like Denver, your offensive line will get exposed, and their running game wasn't too bad against Denver either, but it wasn't enough, and they couldn't keep Denver off They couldn't keep Denver off the field offensively, and that's where that killed them at, because the defense isn't very good. But with the Cardinals, I don't know what team's going to show up here. I don't think the very good one's going to show up in this game either. So that's why I got the Dallas and 2.5. Yeah, I might go with that. Because they
got one of the best kickers in the world. So
in the league,
it's a close game,
an 80-yarder and win the game.
Exactly. That's what I think. That's why I think the line's close, and it might change now with Murray coming into the game, because this is probably before Brissett was named the quarterback. Murray's worth half a point, so this might drop to 2. Either way, I think it's one of those field goal games. Either way, it's going to be a high scoring game. I don't think the Cowboys will be able to stop the Cardinals consistently, unless Murray just decides to throw the ball up, and turn over the ball.
Arizona's got to run the ball effectively too, and they don't have Connor.
Yeah.
They got. I don't think they have Benson. Benson's on an IR too. So
yeah, they got Bam and they got
Bam, yeah.
They got that other guy. Well, what was his name? I forgot his name.
Was it
Starts with
rookie?
D. DeMarco. Someone now. It's the guy they got from the Niners.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
This is the point that we just don't know that.
Yeah, it just shows you right there. Yeah, you're grasping at straws. But yeah, I think it'll be a high scoring game. It'll be a good Monday Night Football game for sure. And I think Murray's going to ball out. I think Murray. It's going to be a duel between Dak and Murray. I would give Dak the advantage because he's at home, and Dak has more weapons. I mean, he's got DK. He's got Pickens. He's got Lamb. He's got Ferguson, like you said. Murray has Marvin Harrison, but that's pretty much it, consistently. So, he got McBride. McBride's a damn good tight end too. So we'll see. Should be fun.
Yeah. And hopefully that, we try to keep it within an hour and a half, but obviously it's not an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half and 36 minutes. So, but whatever comes first, 8:15 or whenever we close out, that would be fine because that's when the Thursday night game starts at 8:15. Yeah. So that'll align perfectly with you guys. And hopefully that we can we can streamline this a little bit and get you some fantasy player, things on there. So we'll work it all in there. Like I said, this is our first dry run with this show. Hopefully people enjoyed it. Go on, One Ass Cheek Three Toes and subscribe so you can see this show as well. And just keep looking for us. We're going to be on every Thursday from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we got it. Any words of wisdom there, Nate, before we go?
Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll be back on next Thursday to talk more matchups for the week. But have a great football weekend and enjoy the games.
Yep. Catch us on Tuesday, too, for One Ass Cheek, Three Toes. Peace.